Hey guys, it's Amy, and I wanted to make a video to show some ideas on how to use a communication book in order to help Lucas connect his world and language and his daily routine, and just kind of help him make sense of everything that's happening in his world. And so this is a system that I have found very helpful in the work that I do in the classroom, in order to help children of all different ages and language development stages, to help them really develop an understanding around language, how to connect themselves to the words that we use, and as well as how to increase the predictability of their daily routines. Provides them with that opportunity to maybe start to communicate, even if it's not with language, with actual verbal language, but communication intent, where in those gestures, those pointing, picking up the picture and handing it to you. There's so many ways that he can start to develop communication using this type of a book that doesn't necessarily require words. Let's go ahead and kind of get into the book. And what we have here is his My Words book, and we usually keep the picture of the child who this word belongs to. We want to make sure that the child knows this is his, and it also helps them, and it's all on Velcro, but it also helps them. So you can say, Lucas, this is your book, and sometimes it's having pictures of himself and people that are around them can often really be helpful to start to make those connections. And so the neat thing about this, the pictures in this book, the way that it's been created, is it's called a TOBI, which is a true object-based icon. But basically that just means that we're taking the actual image of the photograph of what it is that they recognize the most and cutting it into that shape. So it looks like the object, instead of a three-dimensional object, it's a two-dimensional, but it's helping them start to make meaning from real life objects to more of a two-dimensional or a book or something. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the first page. And the first page here, it offers a place to model simple noun, verb, object language. And this is really gonna help Lucas develop an understanding of language. And so it's important to model and explain basically everything he's doing. So over time, this page could be used for him to point to the cards and even begin to build basic sentences. But for right now, it's really to help any adult who's working with him. And it was something that was very helpful to me, just to remind myself that I needed to model noun, verb, object language. So for example, if Lucas is eating breakfast, and so what we would have is, we want to make sure that when Lucas is sitting with his breakfast item, we would say, Lucas eats cereal. Ooh, what is Lucas doing? Lucas is eating cereal. If it's an item that you know is in his book, so for example, we know cereal is in his book, then I would go to his food, and I'm going to put cereal here if I need to. Lucas eats cereal. Over time, you may have some of those verbs, all of those things that he's doing. Right now, I did put in a verb, a couple actions like want. And so you could say, ooh, Lucas wants cereal. So if he's asking for cereal and we want to model that noun, verb, object language, then we would say, yeah, and Lucas wants cereal. And then we could say, do you want cereal? And maybe he would take it from you. And this could be a way for him to interact and exchange. So this is one way that the front page can be used. I know it's a little confusing and it's a little much, but over time it really can be helpful. And he may, over time, start to put some of these sentences together on his own, to let you know what are some of the things that he wants. And I've definitely seen a lot of students and a lot of children do that as these types of things are modeled. They're so smart and they're so visual that they, even though the verbal language isn't there, they're so smart, and that they're really, these visuals and these icons really help them organize. And oftentimes it really gives them a platform to kind of help start to communicate what it is that they want and what it is they need without having that verbal language, because that's something that maybe is developing over time. So again, this is a place that you could be modeling those 3-word sentences And then over time, this may be a place that he starts to use it to develop those sentences and start to communicate his wants and needs on his own. So that's kind of the front page. But it's, again, like I feel the front page is something that doesn't necessarily need to be used all the time. Maybe something that over time you start using more frequently. But it's also, I have it on the front page, and it was always on the front page of my books, just again, to more remind myself that I need to make sure I'm describing everything that the child is doing so that he starts to really make that connection. And again, the way that I'm describing it is what was important to remember, and that I'm really using short, simple phrases and making sure I'm always using the child as the subject. So, and we're describing what he's doing. So Lucas takes bath, Lucas wants bath, Lucas plays with ball, Lucas wants baby. So that is one way to kind of use this book. And again, it was just kind of a reminder for myself. So now let's kind of get into the inside of the book. The inside of the book is really fun because not only does it have all the pictures that can be used to build these sentences. So even if mommy is helping Lucas, we can say mommy and Lucas, mommy and Lucas, mommy and Lucas are eating. So we can say mommy and Lucas eat cereal. So again, we can always say mommy is helping Lucas, mommy changes diaper. So again, always just using kind of the front page, just as not necessarily needing to build the sentence, of course, but it was always for me just like I keep saying, just a reminder to always to use that subject, verb, object as often as I can when I was talking to help develop the language. So, the first page of his word book is we have our family page, and this is a page that can be grown. We have his immediate family on the front. We do have a spot where maybe we get grandmas and grandpas, and you can cut out those pictures and laminate them or tape them up and add them to the book so that when we're maybe at home and grandma and grandpa are there, we can play picture games. Sometimes it's nice to, this is also a nice page where maybe if he's crying and we're not sure why, and we can say, who do you want? He may start to grab the people in his life that he wants that offer him comfort, or he might start to see each page as a choice when you say, what do you need, or who do you want to go to? The other fun thing that I would do with the picture page is we would often sit in a circle and we would say, okay, find mommy, or in the classroom it was different students, but you could do the same thing where he could come to the front, pick a person, and then find that person. And it's really, they have a lot of fun with it. And then when they come, you get excited and you do high fives and spins, and it's really fun, but it's a great way for him to start to learn that these pictures have meaning, and that if he ever starts to take these pictures off and brings you a picture of Aiden, and he takes the picture of Aiden to mommy, then maybe mommy and Lucas go and find Aiden. So it kind of offers that as you can use these pictures as a mode of communication. And so if you ever see him, or who do you want, and he touches to the picture, he touches to baby, then we would want to make sure that we go and let him look at the baby. So again, using these symbols not only as a way to identify and kind of describe language, but you can also use each page as kind of a way to offer choices and things that maybe he wants. So the next page is a people page. It's blank. But oftentimes when I've made them for families at home, they've put their therapies or different people who are in life. So I know Lucas has some people coming to the house for therapy. It may be helpful to get a picture of those people and laminate them and put them in the book as well. This also offers a bridge. I know families often have their own laminator and Velcro, so it may be something that you find helpful. Also, as food and toys change, you can always take out the items that he no longer uses and then have a new picture and put in the new item that he does. So The food page, again, just like the family page, it can not only be used to help him, just help him organize and describe what is happening. Lucas wants cereal, Lucas wants water, Lucas wants snack, so you could always put those in the front. But they can also, if you're struggling to understand what it is that he wants, you can always say, what do you want to eat? And Lucas could then pull off the snack, and then you know that maybe he wants snacks. So this may be another place where you put in some more diversity of food. If you're finding some of his more preferred food and you want to be able to offer him some of those choices. The next page is toys, and just like the other pages, it's always in a field of 4. I found that was the most helpful arrangement for my students, and when offering choices and helping them to be able to find the things that they want. This is a fun page for him to be able to, you could play the point it game, or give me the bear, and he has to take it off and give it to you. Point to the bear, that would be good. Where's the bear? He can give it to you. Sometimes maybe you practice him giving it to you and then you give him the real item. So again, not only using this as a communication and what do you want, and he can play, but it can also be like a kind of like a game type of a thing where you can say, find the laptop or find the tablet, and he has to find it and then put on, take off are also good language directives to kind of help him that he can learn. So here's our toys page, and again, the toys page can be used for the front to help him identify what Lucas wants, or also as like a little choice board. And there's a couple more spots here that you can always exchange new pictures out, put new ones in, and this may be another page over time that maybe we want to add a couple, some extra toys pages. Next one is daily living. This is kind of our routines page. So what is it that he does each day? The last page of the book, we'll go a little more in depth into how to use the daily living, but it's also something that you can say, let's go to bed, time for bed, Lucas. And if you point to it, maybe he grabs it and he takes it to his bed. There's a lot of different things that you can do with daily routines where maybe he takes the diapers and there's a spot and there's another little diaper symbol or something that he puts it in so that then he knows he gets his diaper. So the routines can over time really be used for him to kind of help him with transitions. And you could give him like the chair and then he has to go to the chair and sit. You could give him the bed and he has to go to the bed. So it could help as a way to help him understand how to transition the bath. So this might be another one where you add some items to daily living, some things maybe he struggles with, or maybe the car seat or some other things. So the last 2 pages are more just some words and some actions, and I know that he probably isn't ready for these, but it was always helpful for me to start using them, especially the ASL signs. It was just kind of a helpful reminder for me and my staff and whoever was working with my students to kind of have these as choices. So if I would say, do you want cereal, yes or no? Or you can say yes or no. So again, just kind of giving him these options. He may not be ready for them, but these are some of the words where it might be important to teach him some of these. These are also some of the beginning signs that I found helpful for students where yes, no, all done is always nice, more, so these were some of the 4 first words that I would teach in terms of sign language. That we could also sometimes would put in on the front page of his book or of the book, where we could say, Lucas, all done with the bear, or Lucas, all done with the bath. You could also use it as Lucas wants more bath. So depending on what you're doing, sometimes these words are helpful, just again, helping you kind of, you want more bath, and just kind of helping structure the type of words that, the simple words and the simple language that is helpful when we have a little one who's just beginning to develop communication, verbal communication. And then the last one is just, again, some of those actions, some of those beginning actions that we might want to put into the front of the book. Lucas want a bath, and this is want. Or we have Lucas want, Lucas helps with the bath. Or maybe we have Mommy helps with the bath. Or Aiden. So whoever is helping, but you can definitely see how there's a lot of flexibility with this book that you may find helpful to help him just kind of organize and model the language. Now, the last page is kind of a little schedule, and this is kind of the beginning stages of helping him understand transitions and how to transition. So the great thing about this is if he's struggling to go from a non-preferred to a preferred, or excuse me, from a preferred activity to maybe a non-preferred. So maybe he loves the bath, but, so we have, and then so first we're going to take a bath, and then we're going to get our diaper changed. Or maybe he loves the bath, and so we're going to say first we're going to get our diaper change, and then we get to take a bath, so that he starts to understand that reward is going to often comes after doing something that was maybe not so preferred or something he didn't really want to do. So the first then is a great way to kind of organize just the predictability and help him understand how his day is going to work, as well as that cause effect. Like if I do this, fun. If I do this, that's hard, then I get this cool thing. So same kind of thing, maybe with a toy. So I'll put his daily living back. Maybe he loves the tablet, but diapers are hard. So same kind of thing. First diapers, then tablet. Or maybe you want him to first play with the tablet, and then we're going to go to the diaper. So at least he knows what to expect, that we're going to do this for a little bit of time. And then after that, we are going to have a diaper. Then after the diaper, you could always switch it back. So you can he'll start to understand, first I'm going to do this over here, and then I'm going to do the second thing. So just a way to start to help him just kind of understand how his day works and increase that predictability, which often can be really difficult for some of our students with language needs, because they're still struggling to they're still learning to put the world together. And so by offering them some of these visuals and the structure and the language models and that predictability, it can really help him start to make connections and start to use language more efficiently. So I hope this helps, and please feel free to always ask any questions, reach out if you need any help, and I think he's a great little guy. And I've seen a lot of kids where, just because the words aren't coming out, I think he's going to be a smart little guy, and something like this he might really, really take to and start to show that he has a lot of understanding about what is going on around him. So love you guys, and let me know if you need anything. All right, bye-bye.